If you sue your doctor for medical malpractice and learn that the doctor is not board certified in a particular specialty, does that mean he's more likely culpable or responsible for causing your injuries? You want to know what this is all about? Come join me on this walk through the neighborhood as I tell you exactly what this is about. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. You believe your doctor was careless and that he caused you harm and injury, and now your injury is significant and permanent. You went to an attorney who obtained all of your medical records and had your records reviewed by a medical expert. The medical expert does in fact confirm that number one, your doctor was careless. Number two, that his carelessness caused you harm and injury. And number three, that your injury is significant and permanent. So now you have a valid basis for a case. During the course of your lawsuit, your attorney tells you, hey, by the way, did you know that Dr. Jones was not board certified? And you turn around and say, what are you talking about? This guy's an expert. Everybody in my town knows him. Everybody goes to him. He's a world-class expert. And your attorney tells you that may be, but he's not board certified. And you say, does that mean that he's more likely to have caused my injury because he wasn't board certified? And the answer is no. Being board certified, you should know, is the highest certification level a doctor can achieve in his or her specialty. Now, just because you are board certified does not mean that it's impossible to be negligent, impossible to be careless. It's still possible that even if the doctor has achieved the highest certification possible, it is still possible that at a particular date and at a particular time, your doctor, the doctor who is now board certified, was careless, and that his carelessness at that time caused you significant harm and injury. If a doctor has not taken a board certification exam or passed it, it does not necessarily mean that they were careless and caused you harm and injury. We have to look at the facts individually, and the mere fact that a doctor is or is not board certified is only one factor that we look at to determine whether or not the doctor had knowledge, whether the doctor had competence about what the standard of care was, and whether he violated the standard of care. A physician who is not board certified might still well know exactly what the standard of care was and might argue that he certainly treated you in accordance with the standard of care. The same thing is true with a physician who is board certified. But the mere fact that a doctor is not board certified does not make him more likely to have committed malpractice. It is simply one factor that we look at in evaluating whether or not he did in fact violate the standard of care. And you should know something else. During the course of your lawsuit, I will have an opportunity to question your doctor in a process known as a deposition, where the doctor has to answer my questions, and his answers represent sworn testimony that takes place in his lawyer's office. It's known as a deposition, a pretrial question and answer session, and lawyers also call this an examination before trial. And his answers carry the same exact weight as if he is testifying at the time of trial. During my questioning of the doctor, one of the things that I will be asking him is, what was the standard of care? Dr. Jones, I want you to assume that my client, Mrs. Gonzalez, came to you on January 5th. In that instance, she complained of A, B, and C. Would you agree that the standard of care requires, when the patient complains of A, B, and C, that you do 1, 2, and 3? True? And he's got to go ahead and tell me what his understanding is of the standard of care. And I'm going to go through with him the standard of care for your entire treatment, your entire course of treatment. And then ultimately I will ask him whether or not any of his care and treatment violated the standard of care or departed from the standard of care. Because I want to know in his own words what the standard of care was. I want to know whether he thinks he violated it, and in all likelihood he's going to say no, and he's going to get defensive and say I did not violate the standard of care. In addition to learning about the standard of care from the doctor, I will also ask him about his credentials. So I will ask him specifically whether or not he is board certified, whether his board certification has ever been revoked, whether it has ever been suspended. I will ask him where he is licensed to practice medicine, and if his license to practice has ever been suspended or revoked. So in addition to his credentials and learning about the standard of care, the mere fact that the doctor is or is not board certified does not mean that he is any more or less likely to have committed malpractice in your particular case. So why do I share this information with you? I share it with you just to give you a sense of what really happens in these medical malpractice cases here in New York. You know, I recognize you likely have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York, and you have not yet started a lawsuit, but are thinking of doing so, and still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. Well, that's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a fantastic day.